Welcome back to Cana. Alright.
Ah!
What?
The rock just popped.
Yeah, they just popped out of existence. Kenna, what have you done?
More.
Oh god, Kenna! Kenna's the real daughter of Thanos.
No. Don't you see, guys? Kenna's like that character off the Sonic Archie comic that just popped all the echidnas out of existence. You just did that with those guys.
Here's what happened.
I mean, Thrash.
Yeah, that one.
Here's what happened.
Yes,
Magic. There you go.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah. Let's get back to the spirit. Let's go back to the spirit realm, and this time we're on the hunter path. So yeah, obviously we're gonna have to find some kind of
become the hunted.
Yes, of course. And yes, the forest. So let's see if we can find the hunter. We defeated the mask maker. Now it's time for the hunter. Okay.
Oh, it's time to make like Alucard and go for a walk.
Okay, should be smooth sailing, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's said as smooth as one of Alucard's walks.
Remember, Shira, casual bongos are meaningful towards, a calm status.
Just ask Crash Bandicoot. He's all about them bongos coming down.
And there we go.
And you press to do that, by the way.
There we are.
Paige, what point do you have to press to do that dash thing?
L1, hold L1, then press circle Y.
Can you customize your controls?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
In the console yeah, actually, it's an interesting thing. In the even the console versions, either PS4 or PS5, actually allow you to remap the entire buttons, all of them.
Good. And I know I'm late, Acid. Does it take advantage of the dual sensor now?
Yes, it does. Well, remember, this game was made with the PS4 and PS5 in mind.
I haven't seen these markings before. They seem to depict a more violent nature, glorifying the hunt.
All right. It basically
It
it does about the same. Have you gotten around to playing Astro's Playroom yet, Dej?
Still haven't even opened my PS5 yet.
Okay. Well, the basic gist of it is it does the same thing that game does. Whenever you're using the bow, you can, thanks to the adaptive triggers, you can feel the tension of the bow's rope.
Deji PS5's Calibers confirmed.
No. More like, I want to play Ratchet and Clank.
Hold on.
That doesn't sound like a good idea, Toshi.
That means it's the best idea.
Oh well. Okay. Alright, let's continue then. But yeah, like I was saying, it does the usual things that it takes advantage to make the bow feel, to make you feel the tension of the bow. The vibrations vary depending on what terrain you're standing in. Again, much like what Astro's Playroom. Like again, I wouldn't be surprised if Sony sent that game to a lot of developers so that they can. Here's what you can do with the DualSense. So consider it when you're making the game.
Here's technology.
As someone who does own a DualSense, I will admit it is a massive improvement over the PS4 controller. Like. For as good as the PS4 controller was, there always did feel like there were things missing about it, and I can get why people would prefer the Switch Pro controller. The PS4 controller compared to the DualSense feels so tiny now and fragile.
It's one of those things where the DualShock 4 is perfectly fine. It's just that it feels probably a bit like. Let me put it this way: whenever I hold the DualSense 4, I feel like I can break it in half with my bare hands because because it is a bit fragile. It feels fragile when you have it in your hands. The DualSense, on the other hand, is just the right amount. Like it's heavy enough so that it feels bulky and sturdy. It's heavy enough to be sturdy, but it's not heavy enough. But it's still light enough so that it's comfortable in your hands. Basically.
The DualSense feels like if you used a PS4 controller with an Xbox One controller and a Switch Pro controller. It feels like it combines the best aspects of each. immersive vibration from the from the PlayStation variants, the sturdiness of a Nintendo controller pack for the Pro Controller one, while also having the manageable size of the Xbox One controller too. I got the red with none of variant. That said, though, it does have a terrible battery life. I'm so glad I just play using USB because I use my DualSense for PC.
I don't know why Sony controllers have that as of late.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I can kind of understand why, because, you know, all that technology working at the same time, of course, we're going to have an effect on battery life. So I can understand why. Remember, if it helps you, you can just turn off the haptics to save on battery. So
let me put it like this. I get that battery life may have been a bit of an issue, but it feels almost like a joke how bad the battery is for this one. Like, yeah, even if you did have to make sacrifices, maybe you could have, you know, walked it back just a little bit more until you got it right. Like, granted, I don't have that problem as much because, again, I use a very long USB cord, so constant power, unlimited power.
Yeah, same. Like I personally don't mind playing with the controller connected anyway, so I'm fine. But anyway, let me just explain something.
I do get people's issues if they prefer wireless. Anyway,
sure.
Your next bit, Pedro.
You might have noticed though, whenever I step into those red areas, I get stuck and I have to use my dash to get out. That's one of the hunter's traps.
It's a trap.
Literally a trap. In the meantime,
You see, the hunter is now hunting the most dangerous game.
I say, guys, this area feels quite large and wide. It feels like it would be perfect for a duel, won't you think?
Yes, William Tell.
Nope. Alright, I think I'm at,
a little higher.
I have to get closer. Because remember, the arrow works on realistic physics, meaning it falls, like, so obviously, the arrow keeps falling as it's moving, so obviously, sometimes you have to get closer to properly. So let's try that again.
That or you need to just aim it high enough so that it'll sink at just the right angle.
The problem is that takes a bit too much experimentation, because, you know, so it's just best to just get close enough to each of the spots to shoot them properly. It's just easier that way. And there we go. Hello. All right. Let's see.
Yeah, for a second there I thought that was the one pig willow.
Yo.
That's a big bow.
I am Hawkeye the Fourth.
So, I'm gonna kill you with it now. Is you fine with that? Great.
Oh, apparently she can make it rain.
So yeah, this is a duel of the bow.
Hey, you're a hunter that cheats. A true hunter should be able to fight on foot, not have to fly.
Well, that's the thing, Drova. Okay, I know that it's not the case here, since it's a more direct confrontation, but a hunter that manages to not cause any vibration on the sound, vibration on the ground, nor actual sound of moving, that's pretty much good tactical advantage.
He spammed you there.
Yep. There we are. Basically, if you hit him with an arrows, eventually he'll fall to the ground, and that's your chance to knock him down with a few staff hits.
So the best way to handle this is probably to treat this like a hunter duel, essentially.
Basically.
Oh.
Shockwave arrow. Maybe this guy really is Hawkeye.
Again, make sure to keep your health up, because yeah, this duel can go for a bit. So not to mention the hunter is always on the move. So yeah, you have to.
Yeah, it seems like the best way is duel, essentially.
There we go.
Get him in a trap.
There we are. And yeah,
you get to play tennis with Yano in this.
No, sorry. I'm guessing. Well, the thing is that with the way Ken uses her staff, it wouldn't work as well because see okay, how about this? In 3D games before Breath of the Wild, Link if you just press B, Link will swing his sword in an upward, like in a downwards motion, right? A frontal downwards motion, and that's why the volley thing with Ganon works in those games. Kenna doesn't do that though. She instead uses an horizontal swing, so it wouldn't work nearly as well for that particular gimmick. There we are.
There you go.
Kick him while he's down!
Alright. Alright, one more shot.
Imagine if Stina just stole her bow where she was now.
She also uses her bow as to hit me, like if it was a sword or something. So, there we go.
Oh, this one's a she.
I don't know, like the way... I don't know, for some reason, like her figure.
Well, maybe it's Toshi's feminine side.
Maybe.
There you go. Everyone has that in their personalities.
Sure.
Just as the oh god, I forgot what's the proper
Sandman.
name. No, the conglomerate I think it's called.
And there we go.
Oh, okay, I'll mention later. Thanks.
It's a special stick.
Oh, the music was playing in reverse for a bit there.
And there we are. Harpoon. And we got the hunter hat for the rot. So Zaju. But actually, you know what? Before I talk to Saj, let's meditate. So we can extend our life bar.
Plot twist, all this time she hasn't actually been meditating, she's just been sleeping.
Alright. I do like how when she meditates in these areas, it goes nighttime to as if she's in the spirit realm.
Before our village, teachings of an ancient people, crafted to help future generations understand the balance of nature. We did
The circle
not
of life.
understand their meaning until it was.
Yeah, I was about to mention, they did such a bang-up job with you guys.
Yeah, that's what I was saying since the beginning. This game has the same pro-nature attitude that Miyazaki had as in his movies.
So, where's the last piece of memory relic?
Well, the village docks, as demonstrated by the map screen too. Alright. Right there. Now, the map always points to your next destination too, so... Alright, so one more relic and we should be able to finally defeat Toshi. Oh, there we are.
We must defeat Toshi by forcing him to look deep inside
The
himself.
warrior.
Yes.
Considering it's a dock, I thought it would have been the fisherman.
Oh, look, lanterns.
Yo, you gotta watch some Japanese flicks. The warriors always have their showdowns at the docks.
Usually it's on the rooftop of a building with some flamethrower.
Depends
It
too.
varies.
Depends. Okay.
Does Ghost of Tsushima have a showdown at the docks?
Actually, yes.
Yes, actually, the final boss is literally on a ship.
Yep.
Ooh. Cool.
Oh, I thought you'd played Ghost of Tsushima.
No, actually, he hasn't. No, I think he's
I
talking
was
to Dead.
talking to Dead.
No, Deji has yet to get that game. He was waiting to play it on the PS5 since he can play it at 60 FPS
I
there.
still have to play
Although,
DLC,
are you
though.
implying that you've played it, Shiroi?
No.
Yeah, I didn't.
Alright, alright, so, yeah. This is actually the most involved of all the three sections because it's the one that has the most platforming and puzzle solving. So,
sorry if I asked this beforehand, Pedro, but just to know, remember in case, can you tackle these 3 relic sections in the order you prefer?
yes, you can.
Okay, cool.
All of these relics can always be obtained. All of the relics for all 3 of the main characters we're saving can be obtained on any order you want, because the game, again, the game pretty much operates on that, on the same logic as something like in Majora's Mask, you know, because in Majora's Mask you don't have to go the specific order. You have to first do the Woodfall Temple first, yes, but you don't have to go for Snowhead Temple right after that. You can actually do the Great Bay Temple after Woodfall if you want.
Mm-hmm.
So it has that aspect of, like, the game is not open world necessarily, but it's still flexible in its design to the point where the player is allowed to progress at his own pace. Okay. So the idea now is that we have to try to find our best way to create kind of some stepping stones so we can climb this particular mountain. How specifically, you'll see. Notice that those little rocks there? Yeah, they glow, which means we can use our bombs on them. So we go here, and then see. So the idea is this one. See, we have to make sure all of these things are lifted, so that we can then jump on them. And there we are. Now let's get here. There we are. Again, it's typical 3D Zelda design. Introduce a gimmick and use that, and that gimmick is basically your primary tool for the puzzle solving in this dungeon, basically.
Again, the only I think I actually did mention this. The only thing that's missing is actually defeating the boss using that particular tool.
Yeah, basically. Alright, like I said, especially in this final area too, in this final third, the boss battles are much more akin to Kingdom Hearts rather than Zelda.
Yeah, I can see. But well, it is true that they still seem to, you know, test a particular, you know, ability of you.
Oh, definitely.
That.
Alright, and there we go. Ha! Not so fun when you also have a corporal form, alright? Alright. And this should be the last one. There we are. Oh, never mind.
Nope! Psych!
There we go. Basically, if you hit that guy,
that's the last one.
if you hit those guys right in the very center of their bodies where the yellow stone is, you'll be able to one-shot them.
Interesting.
That well, well, Jova, you know what they say: attack the weak point for massive damage.
Mm-hmm.
I love how Sony have tried to distance themselves from that meme, but to no avail.
That's the thing. The giant enemy crab itself is, you know, more. Something that I can understand why we would want to try to distance themselves. You know, even though it would be still cool to be perfectly honest occasionally. The attack weak point for massive damage thing, it was mostly just a bit of redundancy, but otherwise was telling a perfectly, you know, reasonable statement. Sure, it was also more the fact the thing on how it was pronounced. Like I didn't mention, like it's like for massive damage. Like
I get that. It's just that Sony for some reason seemed uber ashamed of anything having to do with that ever
remember,
since.
they don't use the word fun.
Well, it's not.
No,
well,
it was just Naughty Dog.
that's just yeah, that's just Naughty Dog. But the thing is,
and it was even out of context anyway.
Okay, so the idea behind this puzzle is that notice every time we go into one of these spots, the game will show some bright stars over there, and those bright. Notice that the previous one said 4, that one said 2, and this one is only 1. So if you pay notice right there, there's 4 spots we can shoot. So obviously this is telling you what the order you should shoot those things in. So the first one is the left, the one that's most to the left. So the order should be
So, but
There we
if you
are.
hit the wrong one, the game blows up.
No, if you get the wrong one, you have to fight 2 enemies.
That's how I would. If I were in charge of making not necessarily this game, but a game, and I wanted to do something like the ultra hard difficulty, that's what I do. If you make a mistake, the level blows up and you have to restart.
Yeah, as you know, as you might have noticed how.
Do you like roguelikes?
Do I like what?
Anyway, hold on. Let Pedro finish his bit.
You might have noticed how I didn't. I only checked. I didn't get around to checking where the third in the order was. That's because, well, process of elimination. I figured out what the first, second, and fourth ones were. Obviously, that the remaining one would have to be the third one.
Excellent deduction.
So. That being said, to add to what Deji is saying, well, Returnal is a great one. I can recommend you that one.
Also, Dad, remember, there's also there is stuff like the one, I forgot what it's called, like One Night Nightmare, I think, mode for Batman Arkham Origins, where you're basically, you have like one entire shot and you cannot actually save, so if you die at any point, mistakes and all, you will have to restart all over again.
Sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's an interesting challenge, and if I recall correctly, it's something that you have to unlock first by beating the game, so you should be at least accustomed first.
In fact, that would be it. If I ever encountered a video game genie, and I had one wish, that would be it. That would be the wish. All games must have a level of difficulty like that.
Sounds like way too many people just enjoy torture.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Not a sub, by the way. Also, Pedro, considering you said no worries, Shiro. When considering, I think, Pedro, you have a better experience with those. Do you remember any particular game that has an actual code from the game genie that actively makes the experience worse, like giving you intentional difficulty harder rather than actually being helpful?
Well, if you go to gamehacking.org, yes, you can find people who have made certain. Most cheat codes.
Not that. I'm talking about the NES era. Classic game genie.
Yeah. Okay.
I distinctly remember the
No, but that's a thing.
Something like that.
No, but that's the thing too. Codes for that game genie are still being made today, so it applies to what I'm saying. Hold on.
That's ominous.
Very.
So yeah, the warrior uses what's the name of that weapon again? The scythe. It's not a scythe. It's just like more like a.
Let me take a quicker look
Looks
at
like
it.
A spear.
Naginata.
Yeah. That's it, Naginata. Yeah. He even has the Ronin head and everything. So yeah, Japanese.
Nice hat.
Yeah. Well, remember too, like it applies because codes for that game genie are still being made today. So there are people who make codes to enhance the difficulty of those games. Yes, for the sake of like. But most codes are used specifically for the sake of cheating.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go for a no-hit run?
Oh, actually, I forgot. Wasn't there something like that?
Well, let's see.
Sorry.
Let's see if I manage to beat him without him hitting me, and I do. Very good.
Wow.
No, this guy is way easier than the hunter because
you can see that.
because as long as you make good use of your skills, you should be able to defeat the warrior pretty easily.
I was just at first like, wait a minute, you're not taking any damage.
So the warrior fights with more honor, whereas the hunter is more of a cheap bastard.
Oh yeah. Usually, remember, Joe, it was kind of like that even in the Prince of Persia 2008 video game.
Of course.
There's even a cherry tree and everything.
Actors.
Yeah. So the beautiful landscape of San Francisco.
That's the thing.
Don't you mean San Francisco, Tokyo?
Okay. That's the thing, Dids. Believe it or not, there are actually a lot of cherry blossoms in California. So.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they have their own botanical garden, like over here.
And the thing is, they even have a Japanese district. So, yeah, there's a reason Ace Attorney was able to get away with it.
It reminds me of that floor that you get well, I forgot which city actually is. While you're storming the building in Metal Gear Rising, and
Journey of reflection,
hold on.
hoping to seek guidance from our ancestors. As our village struggled, Toshi found few answers here.
Oh.
Oh dear. Why do I get the feeling those may not have been the right answers?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so now that we have all the relics, in the next part we will be finally facing Toshi.
Goody.
So, since we still have some time on our hands before the part's over, let's get back and do some stuff that we missed.
Swimming!
Yeah, let's explore a bit more of this section in the real world, see what we can find. Because remember, we have yet to get all of Toshi's memories. We have gotten all the relics, but not all the memories, so might as well take advantage of this period to get them. Yes, Teo?
No, I was just a minor thing, but it reminds me of that section. I think it's actually one of the last levels where you're in that skyscraper in Metal Gear Rising, and out of nowhere you find this very stereotypically traditional, Japanese floor, complete with a Zen garden and everything, even Raiden questions that. And then you find out in the in one of the DLCs, I forgot which specific one, that Senator Armstrong himself doesn't even know why it's there, and he needs to fire the person who actually designed it. It's weird.
Alright, Pedro, it's time for you to find 99 for Arc Seeds.
No, this is gonna be a straightforward run. Alright. There you go. So yeah, now I'm trying to also... There you go. See, Teo? I can also do the Aloy thing in this game.
Again, enough stubbornness will get you somewhere.
Exactly. Alright. Let's see what we have in here. And there.
Hey.
Alright, let's skip to the actual part where I do find the memory. So then,
I'm sure you're enjoying yourself, Kana, but we have a plot to get to.
You give the poor girl a break here, right?
Look, do you know?
Do it in my free time, it's well.
Look. Do you know how emotionally exhausting this job is? Don't even come
And
with
they
that.
don't even have a decent pension plan, Sherry. Be considerate.
I'll make you tea. It's fine.
Oh,
I'm sure she
of
gets
course.
paid eventually for her services.
I'm a Brit. I've got nothing else to offer.
But you're also Welsh. I'm sure you have
And it's a
something.
big theory. And it's a thing, Sherry. Tea is not even supposed to be yours, so it's not even that.
I mean, I have lamb, if that helps. I am Welsh.
I mean, when I'm English, we could give you beef.
You already have enough beef with us.
Our dramas are better. That's my beef.
How about some haggis, Kana?
They're shorter, and they get at the end when they.
What about Welsh cake? I hope you told me that was good.
I'll think
Yeah,
about
it
it.
is good.
I'll think about it.
I'll try that next time I go.
In the meantime,
Swansea next.
lion statue.
Seems odd for a sculpture like this to be so tucked away in these cliffs.
I thought she said so fucked
Perhaps
away.
this
And I'm
was a
like,
place
what?
of refuge.
Alright, and here's another spirit mail. And treasure. A new hat for the rot. The samurai hat.
Wonderful.
Alright, let's see.
I need your guidance. Please, help me choose a path that will save our home.
Spoilers, it did not work.
Yeah, whatever path you took, I already know it didn't work.
What are you talking about?
This is
Clearly, my
secretly.
Yes.
Sorry, go on.
No, go on.
Go on. This is secretly this Let's Play is secretly a stealth playthrough for the Pathless.
Sure. I mean, from what I've heard, that game has similar themes, so...
That reminds me, the term that Deji was referring before that with roguelike is usually referred to games that have that are constructed in a way that, while having stuff like a story or reaching a point from point A to point B, the stuff that's in the middle can potentially be auto-generated in a myriad of different combinations. Prime example of these are Dead Cells, which is more recent, but for one of the staples of the indie genre, it's The Binding of Isaac.
And anyway, look, Shiroi, I have been literally risking my life to help these spirits cross over into the afterlife. I think I've earned the right to chill out a bit and just have a swim.
Okay.
Now, swimming can actually tire you out if the water is heavy and draining enough.
Hashtag being canine suffering.
Alright, so again, we still have... Alright, tune in next time, everybody, where we finish the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Bye.